Everybody.
Yeah, I am. Good evening
So you can hear me?
and welcome. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. You hear me?
Good. Yes. Yes.
Good, good. Again,
Mm-hmm.
good evening and welcome to a live podcast. And your host is Bob Pace and Daniel Watt. And it's broadcast over YouTube, and you find us through Facebook, and we're using the StreamYard application. And I want to welcome you because we are here to fight CPS and tell them to stop taking our children. Our children are not in immediate danger, and families need to be unified. The parents are the best people to take care of your children. It's been proven time after time that the biological parents are the best. We don't need to have foster care kidnap our kids. We don't need the CPS to kidnap our kids. And I tell you, that agency is bad news. And if you haven't figured it out now, you will figure it out. Behind Daniel's back are the proud ladies. They're called the Pink Ladies of Prescott, Arizona. They're so very proud that they made T-shirts and advertise what they do. They're professional kidnappers. And on the back of the shirt, they tell you, do you know where your kids are at? Now, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Do you know where your kids are? Do you know where your kids are? Professional
Mm-hmm.
kidnappers. Those are the people that entrusted your family, your livelihood. You people have raised children. You've had relationships. You've made homes. You have jobs and stuff. And what does this agency do? It takes your children, all children, in immediate danger. Now, I don't mean to speak disrespectful to the CPS, the Child Protection System, but it's failed. And it seems like every night, every morning, I talk to someone from around the country, from one of the states, including other countries, and they say CPS is taking our children. They don't give us back. They don't let us go to the graduation ceremonies. They don't there's stupid things. Kids are lost in the system. And Danielle can talk firsthand experience. She has a wonderful son, and she was away, and she gave her son to her mother. And unfortunately, her mother didn't live long, and so she passed away. So the son was taken
Mm-hmm.
into the CPS system because of his special needs. He was under the age of 18, and Georgia didn't have a system that could take care of special needs, so they shipped him to Texas. And what's that agency they
Mm-hmm.
use for interstate? They use the ICPC, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
And that is the
Interstate
agency
compact
that goes to make your
placement.
kids safe. Well, guess what? Daniel comes back and she wants to know where his son is at. And he's in another state. And
Mm-hmm.
by the time she finds out, he's over the age of 18. They've forgotten all about him. They're still making money off her son. But
Oh yeah.
she wants to get custody of her son because he's special needs. He needs someone to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, her brother is special needs, so having two of them, she wants
Oh
to
yeah.
take care of. That's a wonderful mother that Danielle is. And so
He
I
wants to come home
really
for
want
the
to
last night.
say that. And Faye, I'm so glad you're here. You
Big
were so
day.
wonderful this morning. She came on and bailed me out. We appreciate her. And Lori, we've seen you for the last couple of weeks advertising Williams Mullins. And I have no idea who Williams Mullins is. But anyway, you're welcome, Lori. I don't know where you're at, but she's listening to our room. And so, anyway, I like to get started with the ground rules here, the room, or how you can interact with this podcast. This is live, and there's several ways you can interact. One, you see my phone number up there. You can call in at 626-698-0990, and you can speak onto it. Faye talked this morning, and she brought up a great subject to talk about. And it's something regarding if you wanted to sue somebody. So intrinsic
Mm-hmm.
or extrinsic is that she brought up. It's this new terminology. where there's no statute of limitations. So anyway, that was kind of interesting. We talked about that for a little bit, and thank you to Faye. That really helped out. Okay, so if you want to text in a comment, all you need to do is type the comment about your CPS question. Also, make sure you show your name, city, state, or country, and be complete with your CPS case. Tell them if there was 2 parents, how many kids, when it all start, what are the allegations. It really helps me and Danielle to help you. That's the whole idea. We want to help each other. So, with that being said, please, text in a comment. I've already had 2 of them today. We've already had 2 of them today. We had Lori Miller and Faye Manley. And so they've already been coming there. And these proud ladies, these social workers, went around to stores in the area. And of course, they were caught and they were immediately fired. And 25 hours went out of the range. 8 of them are gone. They only have 1 guy running, and the director's gone. So they wiped out the CPS circus at Prescott, Arizona, which they call their CPS program DCS, Department of Children's Services. When I say CPS, I say Child Protection System. I mean everywhere there is. So anyway, if you want to, instead of texting a message or calling in, you may want to be on the show as a guest. So if you can be on the show as a guest, you're going to contact our producer who works very hard to make this show possible. Her name is Grace. She's behind the scenes, but she'll help you get on one of my podcasts. I have 14 podcasts Monday through Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour and 7 o'clock at night Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour. And she will book you whatever you want. If you say you want a Sunday morning, she'll put you on, or a Monday evening, whatever the case may be. Because Danielle and I would love to have you. We really would. It really is really, really good. It can we can help you a lot better that way and so forth. So with that being said, those are 3 ways that you can interact. Either the email. The email is grace@vincentwdavis.com. That's grace@vincentwdavis.com. It's right there typed in at the lower part of the screen there. It's grace@vincentwdavis.com. So I want that to be on there. Now I'm going to switch back over to my phone because that's something that people may not have it memorized. But anyway, Danielle, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Just been doing a lot of research on like extended foster care and my son being 18, and heard I found out a lot of things, actually, some good news. So we're making some decisions in the next week, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I've been talked to somebody and recently got an answer to a question me and Faye had about son being 18 and in extended foster care because and then Georgia, excuse me, I've discovered that foster care, the garden ad litem that was over my son is not even over my son anymore. So that's some new news, and there's a lot of stuff that's different now that he's 18, and they're not wanting to come off the records or nothing. The juvenile, or when he was a minor, but really, as of right now, it stands that he can make his own choices, and he can. It's voluntary. Extended foster care is voluntary. But he does not. No one has guardianship of him. No one's his guardian, so he's an adult pretty much in the system right now, and he's and pretty much it's I don't want to put too much out there, you know what I mean? But I can tell you off the record, off the podcast, but it's looking good. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well,
So yeah, extended foster care is all voluntary, even with special needs kids. I did find that out.
right. Well, we
That's
learned
where
this
the
morning.
adult guardianship comes in. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, Bob.
Okay, we learned this morning about the word called toll, Toll. I'm talking about in the legal sense.
Mm-hmm.
That means to stop
They
running
stop.
a time period, especially a time period set
Yep,
by statute of limitations. So the
they do
word
that on probation in some
toll,
cases.
Toll, is toll,
Mm-hmm.
and it means that you can stop the running of time for limitations. So you may have things that are intrinsic or extrinsic, intrinsic and extrinsic, and they are
Mm-hmm.
relief against judgment. And so um, it's it is lawyer talk, and it's basically um, deals with fraud, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you might be able to still sue a case. In my case, the social work denied, I could still do it, and in Faye's case, she could still do it her thing. So it's really interesting, and we spent some time on intrinsic and extrinsic fraud and relief against judgments and the word toll. All that came into play. I was really happy to see that. Um, so that was really good there. So, being on tonight, we have our rules. I talked about them this morning, and we can talk about them again. We can talk about my case, your case, um, or we talk about some of these topics. I don't know what it is. What everybody like to
Mm-hmm.
do tonight? Any ideas? Anybody got any questions or anything they'd like to talk about?
Talk a little bit more about what you were. I'm just saying. I'm interested to know more about like the toll. What's the toll? And what is it? I can't even talk. Sorry, hold on. I gotta call. It feels like something's stuck in my throat. But is it the timeline? Like there's no statute of limitations on it. Where does toll fall into the suing or lawsuit? Just any? Does it pertain to anything with GPS or your case?
What
Like the
what is
timeline?
your question, Danielle? What's your question?
Like what do you mean by toll? Like what is that?
The word toll in the
What
legal
would you be
sense.
tolling when you stop something? Put a stop order on
Yeah.
because
The word toll.
that's happened like with a warrant.
I was going to
Go ahead.
sit there and tell you what toll is. Toll
Go
means,
ahead.
in the legal sense, is they can stop the clicking on statute of limitations.
Okay. Okay.
So, a lot of cases, if you want to sue them, you have to do it in so many days after your court case is over.
Right.
But
Right.
when you want to stop the limitations, you toll it. And that there's two types of areas, etristic and intristic. One spelled INT, and the other one
Okay.
spelled EXT. And that was something that Faye shared with us. And it was great. It was so cool. She called, came online, mapped it out. I looked it up, and I have it saved as one of my tabs. There's intrinsic fraud, which is intentional fake representation, a lie, which is part of the fraud and can be considered a determined general and punitive damages. This is distinguished from extrinsic fraud, collateral fraud, which was a deceptive means to keep one from enforcing his or her legal rights. So that makes sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I have a better understanding now. Gotcha. Yeah. I have a better because I know with tolling, like toll, I can relate with it. I mean, not relate, but I have an understanding of it on the criminal side, like with probation, like toll a warrant. Like if they put a warrant out for you for violation of probation, they could put a toll on it to stop your probation. But on the civil side, I didn't know that they could do that with the statute of limitations. Stop it.
Okay.
That's cool to know. That's good to know, though. That's good to know.
Yes, it is. It is.
Definitely. I never knew that. And especially in like some of our cases that have been going on for a good amount of time. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have you had anyone like from like that gentleman we had the other night? Has anyone came in like from other countries or anything? Have we had anyone? Because I saw something in the news I thought about somewhere overseas. I forgot where it was though, but I thought it was Australia or somewhere in. But have we had any international news
Call?
from about?
No.
Yeah,
No.
anybody?
No.
Okay.
The last person was Liberia.
Okay. I noticed that. I mean, I've been doing a lot of like looking up on YouTube and just videos and about the whole, like the whole. And my focus right now was the extended foster. Like that's what been my focus today and yesterday, and like, I did a lot more research on it, like deeper in depth. You know, what's my rights of my son? How was the guardian ad litem when he turned 18? Like, are they still involved? Because remember, when they go from being a minor to an adult, it's a totally different ball. So what still pertains in his situation or in my situation with my son as an adult now from when he was a minor? You get what I'm saying? So and a lot of stuff. I mean, like I even found out that the guardian ad litem usually is no longer on the like with him. It's a court appointed, just whoever's pretty much like a court appointed lawyer of the day in court. You know, that's whoever is that advocate that day can just help him in the court proceeding, like my son. But really, because nobody has guardianship. You know what I mean? Nobody. They haven't granted it yet. He's still, like you say, he's lost in the system, and really, that's what it is. He's lost in the system. He's just there. And I mean, he gets this, and it's some stuff's been brought to my attention, and that's what I've been researching and discussing. This person that hasn't been helped, and I found out a lot of new things, which are actually good. And I'll be able to share more knowledge, probably here in a couple of days if people need help in that matter. Because I know that there's parents out there that their kids are 18, and even with the part of mine is special needs, and then a normal child is in the system, you know, and extended foster care even pertains to special needs as well. I mean, it's voluntary no matter what, whether because the kid is 18, and that's where the guardianship comes in at. That's why they tell you to apply for guardianship. So no, I mean it's the guardianship's what am I looking for? What word am I looking for? Like sets in stone who has say from then on. But right now my son's, like you say, in limbo. So what decisions can he make? What can he? Who has? Like where's the jurisdiction? What? That's where I'm at.
Danielle,
my son asked me a question
for you.
But,
can you try your microphone away from your mouth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you bend it out a little bit?
Do this. Is that better?
Your
Can you hear me?
Well, no, you haven't moved your microphone. See, your microphone is right near your mouth, and I think it's kind of close to your mouth.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah, further
Is that better?
away. Well, I don't mean to put it up above your head.
Okay, so it's. Oh no, you're good. It's fine. Can you hear me though?
I hear you better. Your enunciations, your words.
Okay.
That's why.
They're okay. Yeah, and my voice is raspy too, like the way I'm talking. It feels like I don't know what, but I got a cough, like a stuck cough, and I feel like there's something stuck back here, like it's scratchy. So hopefully I'm not getting sick. I hope I'm not getting sick, because that's gonna be no fun at all. If I get sick, I know some people where'd they go? They went somewhere and they came back with COVID. So and I know people that I've been around have been they've been around that group of people, so I'm hoping that it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to take the test, and it means so far nothing. So hopefully the test works. But I ain't feeling too hot. My voice is this is what worries me. My coughing, and it's a productive coughing out. And then fever, the body aches. It's like I feel like I got ran over by a Mack truck. Ugh. All right, can you hear me still?
Yes, I hear you.
It's still okay. That's weird. But, I gotta get another headset. I'm on my tablet. That's why. I mean, because Grace said it's a better connection, and apparently it is because I'm not freezing up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Natalia.
Too close to your mic, your words will.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you can hear me like with my voice. I mean, I'm cool with it being right here in my face. I'm cool with that.
Hey,
Nadia.
Nadia.
Still in the driveway.
Hollywood girl. She says, "I hope you're feeling better," and she's tired of working hard. I'm sorry you're working so hard. Anyway,
so much going
on. So far, we have no questions. Anybody out there that likes to talk on the show can call in at 626-898-0990. We'd love to hear from you. And so you can call in, text, or you want to be on the show, you can email grace@vincentwdavis.com. grace@vincentdavis.com. Now, I would like to mention our 3 important rules, and these are things that I didn't follow and I should have with my case. And rule number 1, the most important, is to get an attorney. And why? Because those pink ladies behind you are not your friend. They're going to make your life miserable. Right. So you need someone that can navigate and can fight the CPS system. They can fight it. We need attorneys like that. And you say, well, wait a minute, I can't afford one. Well, we got a solution to that. And you say also, well, I got a court-appointed attorney. Well, I'm sorry, sad news. A court-appointed attorney won't not help you, even if you replace them so many times. Because they're not there meant to help. They're just going to look at the easy way out. They have a caseload of 30 clients, and they just don't have time. Plus, you only see them the day of your hearing, and that's not enough time to prepare for your hearing. That's wrong. That's wrong. Our children are stolen, trafficking by CPS. Before even they, it's sad. It really is sad that an agency that's supposed to protect their children from neglect and abuse and do family reunification wants instead to hurt the family and not do family reunification and alienates the kids from the parents, and they don't know what's going on. It's terrible. It's a terrible feeling. And so
pink ladies on Amber Alert. Natalia said we need the pink ladies to put the pink ladies on Amber Alert.
Oh.
Yeah. They people are a mess.
Yeah.
It's hot. I will explain about so when you go ask for, like, say, and then this may be an off the wall question, but say if you open records request, and you're asking for why would they give you a hard time if it's an open records request about everybody's name that works in the department and what did he ask? And they gave him a hard time and said that's private and that's not. It's kind of like a juvenile case. Like that information is private and like not public record. But he would. I knew somebody that was asking for just like a list of everyone that was employed with the Department of Family and Children's. I mean, the Division of Family and Children's Services, and that who was involved in the juvenile court in Cherokee County. But they wouldn't give him that information. Why would they make such a? I thought that was. I mean, that's not nothing to do with juvenile, like a person under 18. Like when you, like I've been okay. Let me just. I've been asking for open record requests for like six. It's been going on 6 months. They keep telling me that I can access these records online, but yet I thought juvenile records were private. And and then on top of that, why are they telling me I can access it online when I can't even get it to begin with? I mean, because you can't even pull it up on it. But that's the same thing. The same person tells me every time, even when I go up there. So I don't understand that. They're not letting me have access to.
Okay, they're scanned and put on the court's website. Okay, so if you go in there to the clerks, you can actually go to the screen and view your documents.
That's what I saw.
And you can print them out when they have printed out. Now, they're available as public record.
That's what I thought. So I guess I'll have to go. Because it's like I wanted the. I mean, I've been asking for the 2011 court. I want the transcripts of everything, and even the department, the DFCS one. Yes, I did say. And I thought, do they have 3 days to respond back to that on the FOI, the Freedom of Information request?
I don't know what the statute of limitations are. Are you saying 3 days?
Okay.
For what?
Yeah, I know in an open records request, I know they have 3 days, but when I was asking the Freedom of Information request, I was wondering what the statute of limitations on that is. Because I filed it like me and Phil were talking about. I still haven't heard nothing. And I don't know. I know with the open records request, but like when I did that, they had 3 days to respond, and they responded with nothing but an email.
Okay. Let's see if it's one of the questions here. Okay, the Freedom of Information Act has been around since 1967. It provides the public the right to request access to records from any federal agency. It's also described as the law that keeps citizens in the know about their government. Federal agencies are required to disclose any information requested under the FOIA unless it falls under the one of 9 exemptions, which protects interests such as personal property, national security, and law enforcement. Who can make the request? Well, let's see here. Each federal agency handles its own records in response to requests. There are currently 100 agencies subject to FOIA, with several hundred offices that process FOIA requests. Your request will receive the quickest possible response if it's addressed directly to the FOIA office of the agency or the agency component you believe has the record you're seeking. There's no specific form that must be used to make a request.
On when you ask the agency for it?
Yeah.
Why do they keep asking for the form? Like when I go in there personally and like in person, they say, did I fill out the form? I'm like, what form? Like,
there's no initial
never even seen a
required. There's no initial fee required to submit an FOIA request, but the FOIA does provide for the charging of certain types of fees in some incidents. For a typical requester, the agency can charge for the time it takes to search for the records and for duplications of those records. There's usually no charge for the first 2 hours of search time or the first 100 pages of duplication. You may also include your request a specific statement limiting the amount that you're willing to pay in fees. If the agency estimates the total fees for price requests will exceed $25, it will notify you in writing of the estimate and offer you opportunity to narrow your request in order to reduce the fees. If you agree to pay fees for record search, you may also require to pay such fees even if the search does not locate any reasonable records.
So they're just giving me the line. What?
Yeah, I'm looking for the statute of limitations on doing the request. I really don't see anything, Danielle.
Yeah. So I'm wondering who my brother, he must be in the bathroom taking a shower because there's a lot of noise. Sorry. The wall. He falls into the wall sometimes, loses balance.
Okay, I'm going to send
But
you. I'm going to send you in
okay.
private chat the link for the
Okay.
FIOA. Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I got it. All right.
Did you check out the screenshot that Faye sent you, Daniel?
Yeah.
What was it?
It's about the statute of limitations and what we were talking about, the tolling and stuff. Yeah. The extreme, I can't even say that word, the extrinsic fraud.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's,
oh, okay. Did you get that link?
yeah, I got both of them. Yeah. So I'm looking at in right now. I'm putting it in another device. Looking them up right now, or both of them. So I don't want to mess with the tablet, so I got my phone right here that I'm looking the links up on. So I don't affect the tablet, so I don't mess up the podcast, you know? Yeah. Because I mean, I've been, okay, now when you need the DFCS, like for the departments, like that case file, don't I go to the department to get that? I mean, the Division of Family and Children's Services to request that part of the case?
Oh, the link
Not the court orders or nothing?
The link tells you where to do it.
Okay, cool.
It's on the one called How to File an FAOA Request here, how to make a request.
Okay.
There's a list of federal agencies you have to look at, okay? There's 100 agencies subject to FOIA with several hundred offices that process FOIA.
Okay.
Hey, Faye. Welcome.
Hey.
We have a guest speaker
Oh,
from Richmond, Kentucky, Faye, and she's going to
Mhm.
talk about something, right?
yeah. I was gonna let you know that I don't know if you got them or not, but I sent some things to you in a message.
Well, I saw the one thing you sent me. I need to look at. If you sent it today, I haven't looked at it today,
Mhm.
but I got the other things you
What
sent me.
What was it that you got that I sent you?
Okay, let me show it to you. Hold on one second. Okay. Hold on.
And then I sent another one too. It's templates that she can follow to file on
Oh,
FOIA.
I think you sent it to me on my business phone. Here, let me see Faye here.
Yeah. Is that what you put in the chat? Okay, I got that one link, or the link in the chat.
What did you say?
I got that one, the samples, that link that you put in the chat. I got that for the policy general, the samples of the FOIA.
Yeah.
The 2 links you sent. Yeah, I got those. Is one of those the templates? Second one?
Yep.
Because I haven't got to look at the second one yet.
Yeah, Faye, what I have from you so far is the ACF.HHS, Government Media Press Guardianship Incentive. And then I have the ACFHSA.Government Adoption Legal Guardians. Guardians. And I have that. So I have 2 links there. Then I got a third email from Adoption Decree filed 4 years after the decree entered. I got that one. Then I got the FOI request from you. Then I got the www.2.ed.gov policy. Then I got the FOIA template making request from www.2.ed.gov. And then I got a www.FOIA.government/FAQ.html. Then I got
that's all of them.
then I got the www.foia.gov, Freedom of Information Act. And then I got the www.nfoic.org, Kentucky FOIA law. Then I got the Kentucky laws, the NFOIC programs, the National Freedom of Information Coalition.
Yep.
Is that it? I'm sorry, Faye.
Hello?
Yeah, Faye, I called you by mistake. Yeah. So I can only talk.
Oh, okay.
Hang up on that one, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, Faye. I tried to return the phone call. I hit the phone. Instead, I called you. You still with me? Yep.
Hello?
Sorry, Faye. I disconnected you, I guess. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway. Okay, ladies, we have 20 minutes left. What would you ladies like to talk or hash out? This is your opportunity to talk.
My mind's went blank.
I don't know if Danielle's talking or not. I can't hear her.
Yeah, Danielle.
No, I'm not.
She wasn't talking. She was mumbling something, but anyway.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay. There's that screenshot I sent you about the adoption decree.
Uh-huh.
it says, hold on, let me pull it up. Just a second. Okay, it says, I don't know if you read it or not, but it says, and from the Supreme Court, and this isn't in my state, but it works the same pretty much in my state too, of Arkansas. It says, adoption decree filed 34 years after decree was entered, motion barred by statute of limitations. And then it says, based on applicable statutory language, appellant's motion to annul the adoption decree, which was filed upon the court, a statute of limitations have been told. If a party can establish that an adoption decree was procured by extrinsic fraud practiced upon the court, the statute of limitations barring his action will be tolled.
TOLL, right?
So
Okay.
in other words, statute of limitations will not apply for a period of time. They either set it aside or pause it.
Right.
Does that make sense, Danielle?
Kind of. Can she explain a little bit more? Like, my mind is like totally gone right now. I'm just like a better.
Oh,
Maybe I
hold on.
can understand it
I think I
better.
have to send that thing to you. It's too much.
I get it,
show.
but
We've already done that.
yeah.
So here, let me go ahead and give you that link that she came up with that I typed in early this morning. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I copied it, and now what I'm going to do is put in private chat for you, Danielle.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. I got it. Yep, I got it now. Yep. All right.
What basically Faye has found in layman's sense is that statute of limitations are not applicable if these lies are, if it's extrinsic or intrinsic.
Yeah.
I got the links now. Okay. Cool.
Is that making sense?
I just sent it to myself. Yeah. And I just need to. And then when I get, I'll look into it more and see where, how that can help. Maybe in my sense.
Now I'm going to give you the one about the toll. Okay.
Okay. I guess where it's the E words are where it falls under, like where it could be a part of your, like, help your case or help you and the different people, right? Like the E word, the extrinsic. Can you explain those two words? Good Googling. Good dictionary. I can't even say that word. Extrinsic.
It's extrinsic.
Extrinsic. Okay, I got it. Not part of the essential. Okay.
There's the definition of toll, okay? In the legal sense. I don't mean like a toll road.
Right. Just
I'm talking about the word toll that tells you right there.
and extrinsic. Wow. Surely if it falls under that, then they could be doing like when they're doing something for their own benefit and to gain. That's great, and then that is true in a lot of people's cases, and that's where the fraud. Like a lot of people should be able to do that. I'm just sitting here, so I'm like dirt today. Sorry, had a lot of information today, and I'm mine's exhausted. Exhausted. It's been a lot. It's been a very long day.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to move into our rules. We got to refresh them because we got about 15 minutes left. And rule number 1, you need to find an attorney. And I'm going to tell you how important it is. And the way you do it is you search on the internet. All you need is your city that you're in and your next biggest city next to that city. So I'm going to use Georgia. So in Athens and Atlanta, Georgia, you want to find FIND in Athens and Atlanta, Georgia, a pro bono, that is attorney, means no charge, pro bono dependency, family dependency lawyer, juvenile dependency lawyer. Not a lawyer, attorney. You can use the word attorney and use dependency. And so that's what you need to search. And you should come up with at least 10 attorneys. Then what you do is you pick 10 and you're going to call 9 of them. And when you talk to them, you want to find out if they're still in business, if they are true that they do pro bono work. Do they fight CPS? Have they fought in dependency court? Do they have attorneys that will fight CPS? Have they done civil lawsuits against CPS? If the answer is yes to all those questions, you got yourself a good law firm. So then what's next step is after you interview the law firm to see if they're in business and see if they can help with a pro bono attorney and see if they fought. Once you do all that, then you got to narrow it down to a list of 4. And you're going to add one attorney, Vincent Davis. And his number is 888-888-6582. And you're going to call him and he'll do a consultation for 30 minutes for $60. All you do is call in that phone number and tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And when you talk to Mr. Davis, say that Bob Pace sent you. Also, Mr. Davis's calendar can be seen online to schedule a consultation with him. All you do is go online and you type in Candidly, CALENDLY.com/law office of VWD /Bob Pace. And you'll get his calendar and he can schedule you a time. I don't know how important it is to find an attorney. I didn't have one, and I wish I did because I probably would not have lost my daughter. But, I got my 2 boys back. He helped me out there. But you don't want the public defender. You want someone that can fight for you and stuff. And you'll be surprised because I've had Daniel and myself look up in different states, and we're finding the people. I helped people from Louisiana. I gave them 5 references. It only took me a minute or 2 to figure it out. So you got to spend time fighting CPS. And They're bad. They're bad. And that's why you need an attorney. I tell people it's like open heart surgery. You're going to get a doctor to do open heart surgery. You're certainly not going to get a layman to work on your heart or yourself, or, you need a person that has been practicing, and it's gone to medical school and so forth. The same thing goes for CPS. They're very corrupt. They're not transparent. And you need an attorney that knows how to work through them. So it's very important. So after you've found out that these law firms, the 4 of them that you called that are, the 9 of them that you called, then what you need to do is that you need to do the consultation, determine which attorney you're going to use. Now, Vince W. Davis has been practicing law for 35 years. He's fought CPS both at the state level and the federal level, and he will get your kids back. He knows it quite true.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really, encourage you all to get an attorney, because your life would be so much easier. It was for mine, because a big thing comes off your chest. I know it's a lot of money. I know it is. But please hire an attorney, because CPS does not care about you or your children. They're going to traffic your children. They're going to alienate your children, which is against the law, those two terminologies. So now I go to the next rule, rule number 2. That's the paperwork. That's the fun one. You're going to get yourself, that's rule number 3. You want to do that one, Danielle?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, we can go ahead. It's up to you. I was just putting it.
Well, since you have it up, we'll skip number 2 and do number 3.
Okay.
Come back to the paperwork. All right. The reason why Danielle put this mugshot of this handsome-looking man he's an airman in the United States Air Force. He was murdered by a sheriff in Gainesville, Florida. And all he did is answer the door. And the sheriff fired 5 times point blank. And all I'm trying to do in this message is to think about before you open the door, because he should not have opened the door. And the sheriff should not have pointed point blank 5 shots. The gentleman did have a gun,
Right.
but he was worried about his safety, because the sheriff, instead of announcing that he was at the door, he banged, and then he banged again and said nothing. His 3rd time, he not very clearly said that he's a sheriff and you need to open it up. What you need to do is you need to prescribe exactly what you want the thing open up. You have to be really, really careful.
Like, say who you are. They need to ask who they are. Get them to, make sure you know who they are. Like, even if you have to tell them to put the paper up to the window or
You don't
something.
want to answer the door to social workers. You don't let them in your house. You don't let
No.
them in your house.
Mm-mm.
Today, my door knocked. The doorbell rang. Did I run to the door and open it up?
Mhm.
No. I did not.
Right.
And there was no business card, nothing. So it was somebody trying to sell you something or shop in the neighborhood to see who's home, who's not home.
Right. And that's that's been going on a lot in
Remember this.
states.
You hear a knock
Be
on the door,
careful.
don't answer it. Think of the poor airman that was gunned down.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff could have shot him in the foot or the arm, but instead he shot him point blank in the chest and killed him. And so it's really sad. It really is. So I'm telling you all out there that we can't forget that guy. He died defending his country. So that was sad. It was sad what he went through.
His girlfriend on FaceTime.
Yeah. So anyway, he was shot. He's on FaceTime with his girlfriend, and the FaceTime caught him dying, and the sheriff's cam caught the whole thing. What the sheriff should have done is should have first, there was a report of some type of domestic violence at this gentleman's home, Roger, on May 3rd. He was talking to his girlfriend, and the girl that had called it in had mistakenly had the wrong address. So here it is, the wrong place. And this has happened before. There was a woman in the Mid-East, I think it is, that was shot. She was a nurse, and she was killed and shot down because of a mistake at home. So I'm telling you right now, don't open the door. Do not open the door. Now, if you're outside and they happen to show you they have a warrant, then technically they can come in with a warrant, but they got to be specific on that warrant. It's got to have the address, and it's got to have who the person is addressed to, the allegations, what's it for, and so forth. So it should be,
Mm-hmm.
It should be a proper filled out document, boss stamp, wet signature, and all the information. And that's the only time you can allow them in your home or take your children if they have a warrant. So be very, very careful. You don't want to die like Roger did. That was sad. That was sad. So with that being said, think about it. Also, you don't want to take your children to hospital. They need it because there's too much trafficking going on. There's medical trafficking going on. If you go to the hospital, don't let them take your children. And if you disagree, that's disrespectful. You're entitled to your own pediatrician and your own second opinion if there's something wrong with your child there. But CPS workers work now at the hospital and they round up kids that way. That's wrong. That is totally wrong.
You know something, Bob?
Yeah.
In Kentucky, they do no-knock warrants in the middle of the night at like 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning
Yep.
here.
Yep.
No knock.
Mm-hmm.
No knock.
Well, how do they open the door?
Yep. They just bust through your door. They just bust through your door at 3 o'clock in the morning while everybody's in the bed asleep.
Now, when
they
they
have been on the news before here in Kentucky for busting in people's homes at 3 o'clock in the morning and
That's-
shooting and killing their pets.
that is wrong. That's wrong.
Yep. And the pets were just confused and didn't know what the heck was going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yep, killed them dead. There was a lawsuit against Kentucky over it because there had been cases where they had done these at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning while people were in the beds asleep, and they killed their animals on site.
Oh boy.
Yep. Shot them and killed them. Yep.
Well, if you're going to the hospital to have a baby, be careful because they will try to take your baby out of the hospital. The social worker will be there and they'll bring the policeman and they'll try to walk in your room right when you're giving birth and take away the baby if you test positive. So be very careful with medical. It's either when you're trying to bring them in for your kids to seek help and you may not want that help at the moment. You want to see their pediatrician,
Yeah.
or it's something that they are having a baby. So it's
Are we
sad.
gonna end right
You
before
gotta be
8?
Yep.
There's another.
Kentucky. There was a case out of Kentucky. Her name was Holly. I won't say her last name.
Right.
But they took her baby out of the hospital because she tested positive for, I think it was like THC or something like that. The baby, the baby's meconium test, I guess, came back with THC, supposedly. And the mom's like, well, I don't know how that is because I don't do drugs. I don't smoke pot. Well, what happened was she had eaten a poppy seed bagel the morning before she went into labor. And if you know anything about false positive drug tests and things like that, poppy seeds is one of the number one things that can, make you test positive for THC. And so she
We gotta end the show in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, we reached our time here, ladies, and I got to end the
I'm not
broadcast.
meaning to cut her off. I'm sorry. They just said there's another show.
Yeah, we're gonna have to end it. So,
Okay.
Good night, y'all. God bless you, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. and keep fighting for your kids.
Good night, Natalia.
Bob
Good night,
Pace,
everyone.
Danielle signing off. And